Hey everyone, today we're going to check out a culvert pipe if we're able to take the road. Today is 41 degrees, it's thawing out a little bit, but I'm about to pull down an unplowed road and it might be passable, it might not be. We're going to find out in just a couple of minutes. I can't tell if the road is plowed or not, but it's definitely passable and I think we'll be able to get to where we're going about 8 miles down deep in here. They did a lot of logging here earlier in the year. These are all brand new roads that did not exist last year. Looks like the road might have a little bit of ice on it, but we'll just have to be careful in these spots. Let's do a brake check. Not terrible with the studded tires. Gonna use four-wheel drive and just take it easy on these roads. There's a couple really steep spots. I'll do a couple more brake checks on the way down here. But as we get deeper in the woods, the snow will naturally get deeper as we're in colder areas with more tree cover. Check. The road is sheer ice, but the studded tires are doing their job. Not too much slippage. Yeah, they definitely are not plowing this road. But you can see all the areas they logged earlier this year. It's almost 3 o'clock. This time of year it gets dark around 4, so we don't have much daylight left. We'll have just enough daylight to do an unclogging, assuming it's clogged again. It might not be. It's a secondary beaver pond, but they usually have something good there for us. It's also becoming dusk, so there might be moose on the road. The road is not slippery enough to warrant tire chains. There's also a lot of bare areas which could break the chains if I tried using them. Bad areas of slipping yet, but the snow is slowly going to get a little deeper as we go down here. Not slipping yet. We're now at mile marker 2 of 8, going over a little bridge. Lots of fog today. At least right here, the ice on the road actually got a bit better for the most dangerous corner of the road right here. We call this the hairpin turn. And it's good, the ice is not that bad on it. Not slipping at all. Alright everyone, we're now down to about mile marker 7 of 8, so we're coming up on it soon. The road is just a little bit slippery, not too bad. As you see, it's got a bit more narrow here, not as many tire tracks. But they are supposed to log this once everything's very cold and they can get trucks into the swamp without freezing up. Right now I'm keeping it around 15-20 miles an hour so I don't slip too much. I just drove by the large beaver pond, the primary beaver pond. Down here where we always unclog is the secondary pond, right around this next corner. Let's see if the beavers have done anything. They may have. Let's see, is it flooded? Nope, doesn't look flooded. Nope, the water level's completely down. The beavers did not build back, and they will not be able to build back now until the spring. But there is something in the culvert that I can just pull out as preventative maintenance. It's very warm out for this time of year. So it's been about a month since I've been here. Beaver's built back 0. There's just this one log here, and I can't move it. It's actually, is it frozen? Yeah, it was frozen. It was frozen in there. We'll be back in the spring to this location, I guess. Usually these rocks are completely underwater. The ice is already pretty thick. Look at that. It's a good 4 inches or so we got there. All right, everyone, I just pulled back down the road a little bit. Right here we have, looks like baby moose tracks, much larger moose tracks right there. So you see, I'm riding on slush. That's one of the main reasons I'm getting decent traction. It's supposed to be fairly warm out, but I'm going to try to get off this road within the next few hours because this could easily flash freeze. Even if it does, I'll just have to drive on the snow, and that'll give me enough traction to safely get through. I can tell this area was thinned by logging equipment pretty recently, but if we take a walk down here, we can see some tracks where mice were burrowing in the snow when it was deeper. It just started melting. Next week will be bitterly cold again, but for a few days, everything's melting. Yeah, this was a pretty recent log skidder actually went through here. So this is where the beavers actually live. That's a secondary pond down by the culvert. This is where they live. I've never been able to locate the lodge, but recently I can tell they made it much deeper. That's why all these trees are in the water. They'll eventually drown. Right here we got some chew marks from the beavers. Got a bunch of wood chips. This is nice weather. I don't need a jacket or anything. It's about 40 degrees, which feels really warm after it being bitterly cold for quite a while. This is their big beaver pond, which is visible from the road. Get down here for a minute. I'm not gonna walk out here, at least not very far. The ice is thick. Not cracking or anything, because it was very cold for a while before it started getting warm out. Now that there's no leaves on the trees, we can see their pond is pretty substantial. Right here is a gravel pit. Still cannot see the lodge. It's likely back there in those bushes. That would be the most practical spot for them, out of the sight of predators. But now that it's frozen over, the beavers are not going to be active again this year for quite a while. They probably won't be clogging that culvert up again until spring, unless we get an unusual stretch of weather where this completely thaws, but I don't think we're going to get that. All right, everyone, back in the car, and we're gonna go down the road now and see what there might be. So this is how far down their primary beaver pond is. It's just right above their secondary pond right here, which they...
And they're okay for us to go camping out, right?
What?
They're okay with us camping out, right? Or...
Yeah.
Okay.
It's now starting to rain quite a bit further down the road, and that might be a problem for moose watching later on. They tend to hunker down if it's raining or snowing really hard. If it stops raining, we might see some good moose because it's warm out, and they'll like that. It's a little bit warmer out today. Especially around a lot of these corners, I'm going pretty slow, just in case I hit a patch of ice. Usually I'd be going twice as fast on these roads. This area here they just logged last year. Small things are starting to grow back in. Right here it looks like the last person to drive up here turned around. They maybe didn't want to risk going down this hill. Let's do a brake check, because this is a steep one. Maybe I'll walk too. Not feeling any ice. Nope. I think we're all right. Got a lot of tracks from something. Maybe moose. Nope, not feeling any ice. Gonna go down the hill and get out and see what all these tracks are about. Looking out the side. I'm thinking there are a bunch of coyotes following each other. That's because it looks like a bunch of something following the same track. Right here is a temporary dock that they had in the water for a while when they were logging some islands. We're out so far in the middle of nowhere that no one wants to live on them, so they'll put one log truck at a time on a ferry, bring it to an island. Just a trailer, actually. They leave a tractor here just to get the trailers off the boat. They leave the empty trailers here, and they take a full one back to the sawmill. They have it completely blocked off, but there's a steep boat ramp where they'll someday put that back in the water when it's time to log again. Hasn't been cold enough for the lake to be frozen. Let's go take a little look down at the lake. All right, everyone, I think I'm gonna end today's update video here. This hill wasn't slippery at all, but I think the other people all turned around because this road may have been a lot worse a couple days ago. I know the snow definitely was a couple days ago. This area went from like 8 inches of snow to about 2 in a matter of a couple warm days. Now everything's flat, and we're gonna get off these roads and get back to the main artery that's actually clear and plowed before it flash freezes, likely later on tonight. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great night. Right now I'm slowly trying to drive off of the logging roads because these roads quickly turn to garbage. I was just on this section of road about 20 minutes ago, going at a good speed, and then down there, down a hill, spun sideways. Then it was so slippery I couldn't go back up that hill, so I'd turn around and then go up it with a little bit of speed. Now this road here, I can feel some slippage as I'm slowly going up it. The fog doesn't help either. Can barely see in front of me. Low beam, high beam, not too much difference. But I'm trying to stay away from the edges of the road where it's slanted a bit. Like, the worst thing that would happen, especially at these slow speeds, is I'm just gonna get stuck on the edge in the snowbank. But still, don't want that to happen out here in the middle of nowhere. So what happens is these roads, they are plowed, as you can see, but before they're plowed, the heavy log trucks pack it down so tight, and it's still not slippery, but now it's raining a whole bunch. It's 37 degrees, and this rain, it's coming down very heavy, is flash freezing, making the road more and more icy and slippery. But only have to make it a couple more miles, and then we're back to the pavement. These might be some of the worst road conditions I've ever seen as far as logging roads. Usually they're in pretty good shape, but these are the days it can become bad once it starts raining and the ground is very cold like this. It's flash freezing. These roads are usually in their best shape when there's no snow or it's extremely cold, and it prevents things from becoming super duper packed. A lot of times the roads can also become icy from the log trucks themselves because they're overloaded, which means the tires can't handle it. They're not made for that, so the tires they look a little squished, and every time they go around they're generating heat, which melts the road a little and then refreezes. Right now I'm trying to be very careful because the road is very slippery, and those are some pretty big drainage ditches. Don't think I would tip over, but I would definitely get stuck. I don't know if I have enough winch line to reach across the road. Not the slipperiest, but still pretty slippery, so I'm gonna go down this hill with extreme caution, not going over 5 miles an hour. And it's raining hard, and this is all freezing as it hits the road. So this is just going to get worse and worse as the night goes on. Keep it real slow. The fog's definitely not helping. Thankfully, with these road conditions being so bad, hopefully no one else is gonna come by that has to pass. Very slippery. Gonna go really, really slow to the bottom of this hill. So today I'm calling off this trip, and I'll wait to return to the wilderness until it's extremely cold. The roads are usually in better shape in those times, and we made it to the bottom of the hill without an incident. But this is the fastest I've ever seen these roads change. I was just on this same section of road less than 30 minutes ago, and it was in very good shape. It iced up faster than I've ever seen before. Maybe I should put the lights on now, more lights, so I can be seen and give someone else enough time to slow down enough to pass nice and easily. Slow it down again. I'm waiting to see a big plow truck parked on the side of the road, and that means I have one more mile until we get back to a paved road, which should be in better shape. Unless the black ice is on that too, but I don't think so. Because at least the pavement's been heating up in the sun. It was a decently warm day. These roads never thawed out. It's just raining onto already frozen ground. Oh, the fog went away. You can see pretty far right now. That's nice. It might seem like the middle of the night, especially without traffic on these roads, but it's only 5:22 in the evening. It's only been dark just over an hour. Just in case of a mishap. I'm sliding up. Having trouble straightening out. This road is an absolute sheet of ice. Keep going real slow. It's the only time I have control, if I'm going really slow. Try to keep the tires on the white parts of the road where it's a little rough. hill? Is that dirt? I think I might be lucky enough to have a little bit of dirt right here in the middle. This is the last steep hill we gotta go down. Good, it actually is bare dirt. It melted enough. I'm so happy that this is all dirt right now. Don't have to worry as much right here about losing control. It's like half and half. Half the road is dirt, half the road is ice. But it looks like we have good traction all the way to the bottom of the hill, which is great. And there's the big plow truck that's parked down here. Nice. It looks like the rest of the road will be in decent shape on the way out of here. Got some more fog rolling across the road. Yep, the road is finally down to dirt here. Not as cold of an area. The deeper you get into the wilderness, the colder it gets with the tree cover. So now that we're finally getting out a little bit, we have good traction here, which is great. This should go all the way out to the pavement, which is now 1 mile. Since we passed that truck, is that what this marker says? Should be 1 mile.